Hello students and welcome to this webinar from Careers 360. The topic for today is Know All About IBS, ICFAI Business Schools. We have with us today Mr. Maheshwar Peri, who is the founder and CEO of Careers 360. On the panel, we have Professor Venugopal Rao, Director ICFAI Business School, Hyderabad. And Professor Venugopal Rao holds a PhD from Kakatiya University and has worked in the industry for 12 years before moving to active academics in 2002 due to his passion for teaching and training. He joined ICFAI Business School, Hyderabad in December 2008. In March 2023, he was promoted as the Director of ICFAI Business School, Hyderabad. Next on the panel, we have Dr. Anupama D. Raina, Director and Campus Head, ICFAI Business School, Gurgaon. She comes with more than 21 years of teaching and corporate experience. Her core areas are organizational behavior, organizational development intervention, training and development, strategic HRM, soft skills, etc. She has presented various research papers at national and international conferences and workshops and has many publications to her credit. On the panel, we also have Dr. Shweta Jain, Director and Program Head, IBS Jaipur. She is an educationist, trainer, and academic administrator with over 23 years of experience. An IIM Kolkata and XLRI Jamshedpur alumni with PhD in management, she is an internationally certified trainer and is profoundly contributing to academia and industry in diverse capacities. To her credit, she has research papers, case studies, book chapters, and patents contributed to renowned national and international journals. Lastly, we have Mr. Jatin Tandon, who is the Vice President of Marketing at ICFAI Business Schools and an alumnus of IBS Hyderabad. He possesses over 20 years of experience in the marketing domain. His professional focus is on leading and strategizing the nationwide marketing efforts for IBS across its multiple campuses. He's an expert in understanding student needs and utilizing these insights to develop effective marketing strategies. Welcome on board and thank you for joining us today. I now request Mr. Peri to begin and guide the discussion.
Thank you so much, Prabha. Venu sir, I think the first question is for you because I think it's important for you to lay out the legacy of ICFAI and how it started and why they got into management education. Can you just first elaborate for the student community of how important you are or your importance as far as management education is concerned and the kind of legacy that you have?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, esteemed panelists, Mr. Maheshwar Peri, and all my prospective students who are here on this webinar today. Thank you very much for joining us, taking out your time. The first context that I would like to build up for this webinar is about IBS. This legacy began with a very small journey by Professor N.J. Yashasvi, way back in 1995, when he envisaged a business school where quality education is important. And in a short span of 30 years, we have seen this network of colleges grow. But let me take you back in time. I mean, the purpose with which this ICFAI Business School, ICFAI Business School was started was to ensure that education, especially management education, reached the students who were deprived of quality, and in a time where there were very few business schools across the country. I'm sure 1995 was 30 years ago, and at that time we had barely few IIMs and a few university-led colleges. And this bold decision of his today has translated into 9 business school campuses and 11 universities which focus entirely on quality and education, which is largely democratized and is within the reach of the common man. And many a time we have observed that students from all over the country are part of our student audience. Let me go back as to what makes us very unique. One of the first reasons why I would say the IBS name is unique is because of the emphasis on quality and processes. In fact, this is the very foundation on which we were built, and this is the layer on which the other schools started evolving, and today we have the network of schools. Second was the setting up of the knowledge capital by way of the IBS Case Research Center. Today, I'm proud to inform all of you that at Hyderabad, we have the globally renowned Case Research Center, which is the fulcrum of the knowledge around which much of our pedagogy revolves. And I'll move on now. We have in terms of the systems and processes I've already covered. In terms of market relevance and agility, we have ensured that our processes and academic processes ensure that the curricula is revised from time to time. We hire some of the finest faculty members, and it ensures that right from day one, when the student joins our campuses, he is in safe hands. And many a time we have observed that when they are leaving with a placement in hand, the attribution to their success has been largely given to the processes. In fact, I would not hesitate to add that many of our alumni now are admitting their children in our schools. We feature in the top business school rankings in India. And in terms of accreditation also, we are featuring in the top. Our strong industry linkage has ensured that we have connected with the best in the industry. And our placement record over the years has ensured that we have attained near 95% placement to all our students, and this has been one of our very strong pillars.
On the placement side, as I move along, I just want to
yes,
read one.
And we have changed with times. Let me also emphasize today, after COVID, we are looking at sustainability. We are looking at environment. We are looking at AI. We are looking at digital transformation. Our curricula has moved with times, and the kind of foundation that we have laid, I think today speaks for itself. Whether you take academics, whether you take any other process that a good business school should have.
Fantastic. Jitin, I just want to understand, because Venu sir has talked about democratization of education, and I understand where he's coming from. One of the big advantages of IBS has been that it admits students at scale in a certain sense, because you talk of 9 campuses within Hyderabad also. I think you have one of the larger intakes that a B school has in that sense. Can you just talk of how it is, how it works for the student interest because of the kind of scale at which you people operate?
First of all, thank you for getting all of us on a common platform, sir, for the benefit of the students. Yes, the scale at which we operate is one of the largest in the country. As what Dr. Venugopal said, that we were one of the very few institutions in 1995. We were into the multi-city concept at that point of time, thanks to late Shri NJSSV sir, who visioned this. And his philosophy was to get education, higher education to all. And with that, we are into masses. The kind of reach we create over the 6 months of our, so to say, IBS campaign or the IBSAT campaign is reaching out to almost 2 lakh plus students in across 7,000 plus UG colleges across the country. In terms of giving them some student knowledge sharing programs, faculty knowledge sharing programs, principals meets which we create, and we reach out to all the UG colleges of the country which are relevant and which are admitting or permitting us to create knowledge inside their sessions. With that, we create a base of almost 25 to 30,000 applications for IBSAT. And with these 25 to 30,000 people, they are called to Hyderabad for a selection process. And once they are coming to selection process, the second phase starts. But before that, I would like to very strongly mention that in the good B schools, or in the B schools of the country which are relevant, which are worth joining, we are one of the youngest B schools in the top 50 or top 100 B schools of the country. And as far as our test is concerned, we are amongst the top 5 to 6 test of management exams of the country. Our test is known as IBSAT. Everybody is aware about it. As I said, somewhere between 25 to 30,000 applicants we were around every year. This is where the students are coming and taking us as one of the option. Maybe first preference obviously becomes CAT for them. followed by XAT, SNAP, IBSAT, and MAT. These are the 5 tests which are now being talked about. And the process is very simple for us, sir. It is a qualifying test. IBSAT is a qualifying test. It is having no weightage on admission. It is having a very strong weightage on scholarships, which I'll be talking a little later. But the test is as simple as any other management exam. The pattern is as simple as any other management exam. We have got 4 sections. And all those 4 sections are having 140 questions with 120 minute of duration.
Venu sir, again, I'll come back to you on this one. We again talk of the scale at which you operate. Can you tell me who's the exact student that should be applying for an IBSAT examination? Would you have some definition of the kind of person or personality that you should be, student who? Venu sir.
Yes, sir. That's a very good question. What kind of student should be applying for the IBSAT? Correct.
Yeah.
This is a kind of student who is looking at knowledge for life. I mean, to me, education is something that prepares you for life, the rigors of life, and the challenges that come for anybody in a lifetime. MBA education is to us at IBS is all about transformation, and this transformation starts on day one when a student joins us. So we embrace them, we hold them closely, and we guide them and we nurture them. We want students who are flexible with their learning styles, with their learning expectations. We want them to be open to networking. We want them to be open to newer climates. We want them to be open to newer cultures and subcultures where students from across the country come in. We want them to be adaptive to the learning methodologies that we adopt at IBS. And we also want them to be strong mentally and also should be emotionally intelligent so that they're not looking at just scores. They are looking at an investment of a lifetime, which I think IBS offers. Our huge alumni network gives us this confidence that whoever has passed out of the portals of IBS campuses has only one word to say, that, sir, we were trained for life. I think no other college gives you. It's a mix of academic and non-academic kind of an inputs that we give at all our campuses. And whatever we promise, I think we deliver, we walk the talk. And the rest of the things, I'm sure my colleagues here will substantiate. But to me, to sum it up, we want somebody who is open to learning, open to adaptation, open to take on the challenges that is what industry today requires, open to acquire new skills, and open to change himself or herself.
Jitin, again, I'll come back to it because I want very specific response for this. When I say the target group of the student who should be applying for IBSAT and wants to join IBS, any of the IBS institutions, can you give me a broad range of percentile, for example, of the kind of student, the quality of the student, and the kind of student who needs to pay a certain kind of fee and there's certain kind of... See, every student has an aspiration saying, I want to be in this kind of an institution, but also realistically telling them that, listen, this is the kind of institution that you should be targeting. So from that perspective, the kind of affordability, the kind of merit of the student, the kind of student who's looking for a certain kind of a salary outcome in a certain or placement outcome. Can you be a bit more specific on these numbers, please?
It is all stats, sir. Coming up with the total market, assuming that CAT is the broader market, around 2,95,000 applicants this year, around 2,58,000 takers. If that is the kind of market available for around 8,000 odd seats for 21 IIMs, this is where the major number of students who are looking beyond IIMs come into this arena. All the institutions beyond IIMs, 21. With that, we have got to cater almost 5,000 seats, which is one of the largest in the industry. That way, the number of seats available for the students who are not getting into IIMs is highest with IBS. Coming to the aspiration and the fees level and the output level, we are having 5 fee structures, starting from around 7 lakh for 2 years to 17 lakh for 2 years in different campuses. And the return on investment or the placement is between 7.5 lakh to 10 lakhs. So this is at the scale what we go for. and the students generally who are into those 65 to around 80 percentilers of CAT, a ballpark number here, are the people who are majority into this 2,58,000. That is a known fact for everybody. And for them, the kind of institutions which are available are many. Almost 4,000 plus institutions are there, 4,000, 5,000 institutions in the country. But if they have to go and make their career with a salary bracket of 8 lakhs or a 7 lakhs or a 10 lakhs, then only top around 20 to 25,000 seats in some good colleges would suffice that need. And we are very proud to say that amongst the top 20 to 25,000 seats of the country, we are having 5,000 seat share as 9 IBS group.
So if I just summarize what you said, Jatin sir, you're talking of the 65 to 90 percentile of the CAT.
Yes.
Right? About 7 to 15 lakhs as fees.
Yes.
And a salary of about 7 to, again, 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs, whatever it is.
This is average only I'm talking.
Yeah, which is essentially leading to a 1 year kind of a payback period. Am I right in saying all these things correctly?
Exactly, sir.
Yeah. Venu sir, sorry, ma'am, Dr. Anupama, it is over to you, because see, we also have IBS Hyderabad, which is a primary, aspiration for a lot of students who apply for the IBSAT examination. But they also peter down to, the other MBA offering institutions, and then you are also offering a PGPM kind of a thing. Can you explain this entire journey of a student from taking the IBSAT examination to an IBS Hyderabad to the other MBA offering institutions within the IBS fold, then the PGM institution, and how it works out for the student?
First of all, thank you, Mr. Perry, for having me here, and good evening, aspirants. See, when we talk about MBA, like you know that at 9 campuses, we have some campuses offering MBA and some offering PGPM. But I've been in placements from last 13 years, and let me be very, very clear in terms of telling this to aspirants that for industry, it doesn't make a difference whether you are coming out with MBA or you're coming out with PGPM. The only thing which is important for industry is that what is the kind of skill set you are bringing to the table? What is the kind of learning you have in 2 years? Are you able to deliver? Right? Are you able to, in the sense, do whatever, because market is changing, there's a new technology coming up every time. Are you really being prepared as per the industry requirement? Like, what is the kind of curriculum? What are the things, which you are carrying? And at the same time, will you be able to deliver? I think that is what is important. And to support this, we have seen many a times that the kind of companies and the companies, international, whether domestic or international, which is coming to MBA campuses at IBS is coming to PGPM campuses also. Like, for example, if I talk about Deloitte, or if I talk about all these big companies like BlackRock and all that, for them, it doesn't matter that whether you do PGPM, you do MBA. The most important thing is that, am I getting the student of my choice? Am I getting a ready-made candidate? Is my training on company being reduced just because you are already being trained at the campus? So that is what is most important. So re-emphasizing the same thing, that whether you get at Hyderabad or you get at Gurgaon, or for that matter you get at Jaipur, it doesn't matter. But yes, one thing which is very important is that how you spend your 2 years at any of the campus is something which is very, very important. Like, are you only a bookish student? Are you same time participating in other extra co-curricular activities? What basically actually you do at campus for 2 years when you're going to be part of any B school, whether at IBS, outside IBS, or wherever, that basically helps you to land in a choice of your company, a choice of your profile.
Jatin, this is to you. You have the IBSAT as one of the pathways of getting into any of the IBS institutions, but you also have a few other pathways. So why should a student look at IBSAT and not come through any other pathway?
First, all the points are around 8 to 9, but first and foremost is the monetary part. Monetary part is any other test in the country a student is writing. As of now, I am not aware any other test is giving a 10 crore scholarship. So this is the first and the strongest point, where a student who is really interested in doing a good management program from a good institution, we are awarding talent. And that awarding talent is starting with a scholarship of 500 students getting 2 lakh rupees each. only and only writing on IBSAT examination. So that is the first thing. Second thing is it is one single exam for 9 IBS campus admissions. There is no other application cost revolving any other institutions of ours. Third is it is a remote proctored home-based examination. We started it from the COVID times and we have continued finding the success. Why? Because there are many reasons that students do not go to the test center. It might be natural reasons, or maybe on the CAT day, we found that there was some cyclone in the southern belt. So there was some absenteeism. Last year also we saw in Gujarat and Mumbai, there were so many students who didn't attended the test on the CAT day because of the natural reasons. Here we have given the option because we are the test which is administered on the last weekend of December, which generally is a holiday weekend. We wanted students to be wherever they are on earth, only carrying their laptop and internet connection available to them. They can take the test for 2 hours. So it is a remote proctored exam. That is one more reason to join it. There is no negative marking on IBSAT, which now some of the other good institutions are also following the same. Then again, it is having no sectional time cutoff. So a student can spend 120 minutes as per his wish or her wish. He can go back and forth, unlike some other examinations which are having sectional time and sectional cutoffs. The quality of the test is comparatively a little on a easier side. If you are prepared for CAT, you will find IBSAT a little gettable, a little easier compared to CAT. The probability of getting selected into IBS 9 campuses is generally 1:6. As I said, around 25,000 to 30,000 applicants, or around 5,000 seats, compared to other national exams which are having a probability of a little difficulty level which is available there. And one more thing which is not ending to a 2 lakh rupee scholarship of IBSAT is a national mock test which we have been given for over now 4 years now. That is a practice to IBSAT, and that practice IBSAT is giving top 100 rankers some scholarships. Highest being 1 lakh rupee to the first ranker. Second one is 50,000. Third one is 25,000 and 5,000 into 97. So that is the benefit of writing IBSAT. That is what I can say right now.
So just to summarize what you're saying, Jitin, the reason why you must go through IBSAT is because it also offers about 500 students a scholarship of 2 lakh rupees each. Exam is slightly easier as compared to CAT. You also offer a mock test, and the ratio of success is 1:6 kind of a thing, because 1 in 6 applications are likely to get into one of the IBS campuses.
Exactly.
So the
and it can be taken from any part of the country.
Yeah, and the scholarship is a big hook to it, because only students who take an IBSAT examination can get that scholarship and no other student.
Here I would like to add one more point, sir. We are also accepting CAT, ZAT, NMAT and GMAT scores. Yeah. But for those examinations, there is no scholarship. So if a student would like to come through those routes, it is not, the applicable scholarship is not there. Otherwise, they can come if they are having the applicable cutoffs.
See, one of the reasons why IBS is known is because you started off as a CFA, which is one of the most toughest examinations that I have ever encountered in my life. And then you, morphed into a larger institution, and then now it became IBS Hyderabad. Can you tell me how the last 30 years journey that you had, the kind of, growth that you've seen in terms of your curriculum, your pedagogy, your student stature, the kind of alumni that you produce? Can you elaborate for us more about the journey of IBS Hyderabad and how it's evolved over the last 30 years in whatever way you can?
Okay, sure. So in the earlier response, I had stated that the journey that began in 1995, today it is touching close to about 78 to 80,000 alumni who are spread over globally. One of the first testaments that we took, one of the biggest I think challenges in those days was how do you get good faculty, and how do you establish an institution right from scratch. So in 1995, when this big dream was there in front of the founder, he looked at it at scale. I mean, he always looked at scale, and And the foundations for that happen to be, I'll start with the first point, happen to be building the soft resources. And by soft resources, I mean, how do you build the knowledge capital of the institution? When once that is established, I think then branching out, then getting into newer geographies, newer regions, and newer cities is something that can be logically followed. But the first, I think, one of the first one of the first milestones that we achieved was building on the knowledge capital, hiring some of the finest faculty members. And even today, I'm very proud to inform the audience here, the student audience, that 90% of our faculty members are doctorate degree holders, and we believe that most of them come with a mix of industry experience and academic credentials. Third is Hyderabad. I mean, in 2008, we became part of a university, which was again a shot in the arm, because this is now credence that was given to us by the government, because we were known as a center of excellence for case research and case pedagogy. And today, our cases are now being taught in roughly 120 countries, in more than 900 business schools, including Harvard, including Ivy, and including Darden. It's a matter of pride that we are there on the global map. As we moved, I mean, we navigated very, very, very tough challenges in 2007, 9, 11, 14, 17, and then the COVID. Our discipline and the kind of pedagogy that has been so flexible with changing times, that we quickly migrated and we quickly navigated the challenges of industry level changes, technology level changes, and we brought in some of the finest inputs into our curriculum, obviously vetted by our industry recruiters and our alumni, and we strengthened the core. The core always happens to be the curriculum. And all these time zones that I just reflected on in terms of the depressions and the economic cycles, we were able to navigate and ensure that students were not affected in any major way. And we continued to do extremely well on the placement front. Then it comes to our, in terms of our, the kind of input quality, what we have ensured that is, since students come to the MBA program and the PGPM from diverse streams, we ensure that many of them, as a result of our academic process, are made to appear on an even platform during the Diksharam and during the initial induction program. Many students have this anxiety. Can I do this program? Will I be able to sustain? Will I be able to navigate this? So we have ensured that independent of the background they come from, many a student has navigated this challenge. Then it comes to our intellectual capital in terms of research. Today at Hyderabad, we are a NAC A++ in terms of our accreditation, which puts us in the top league of universities. And as a constituent of that university, we are expected to uphold the highest standards of academic discipline, academic integrity, and academic outcomes, which ensures that all this learning is in turn transferred to all our campuses all over the country and universities. And then finally, in terms of the team that we have, in terms of the approach that we take to students, is an individualized approach where we do not have any bias towards students who join us from multiple regions of this country. And we have ensured that due to our strong placement processes and the training approaches that we have been able to provide this assistance to every student who has joined our campuses all over the country. And today, this is my 18th year in this campus. I have never seen a student who has left the campus and said, "Sir, I did not benefit from this." Every student has benefited, and they have come back to us and said there are multiple stories and anecdotal evidence to prove this, which I will leave in the next question, should it follow that. Yes, sir.
So I'll just come back to very sharp questions that are meant for the students. So I would want this to be as sharp as possible, so that we're dealing with an audience where they would want to have very quick answers for some of these things. You talked of placements. Can you tell us what kind of consulting companies come to campus for placement?
Consulting companies, we have the big four, sir. All the big four are coming. I would, if you don't mind, I would bring in Satish at this point in time. Satish?
So, you talk about the big four, you talk about the top consulting companies, especially KPMG, you have PwC, McKinsey. A lot of these companies come to our campus, and very importantly, they also take in bulk. That's very, very important. So we have good success stories coming in. We've seen, our alumni move up steadily in these jobs. And I think, that's a good thing as what we're doing.
Fine. So besides consulting, can you tell me, because now analytics is really becoming a big thing, right? So what kind of companies which are into analytics come to IBS for placement?
Again, the big four, including Accenture and others, they ask for, for analysts.
Besides the big four.
Besides the big four, there are a lot of startups. There are a lot of market analytics companies, HR analytics companies, and others who come. We also have, again, the big four, and a lot of other companies do come in, sir, with regard to analytics. I think most of the startups, there is data all around, and most of the startups wants to do consulting in these areas. And we do provide, this particular training for the students, and our courses and curriculum help them to play with data and analyze data. And therefore, a lot of these companies are coming in.
I think Dr. Anupama Rana can also
can I?
Yeah, please.
See, when you talk about consulting, we have around 30-35% students who get into consulting jobs across IBS, right? And there are different kind of consulting. There's a financial consulting, marketing consulting. Then there are some companies which are HR driven, which are organizational development consulting, So combining all around 30-35% companies. And when you talk about analytics, see, there are two set of companies. One are who are exclusively into analytics, like today, who are consultants and they're doing the analytical based consulting. Another set of companies are who are there, who have been the regular recruiters, have been coming and hiring for other domains, but now they have added analytics as one of their vertical. So they do come and they hire for that particular vertical also. Like, for example, we used to have CBRE. CBRE earlier used to come for valuation, or we used to have RSM. They used to come for, a different profile. But today, these companies have also set up their analytics department, right? So they come for those particular profiles for which they have been coming for. In addition to that, they are doing a separate hiring for analytics. So if I name some of the companies, we have JP Morgan, we have Goldman, we have BlackRock, we have RSM, we have Big Fours, which we talked about. We had BCG. BCG, as of now, for class of 2026, has taken 7 students, and for HR process, which is still pending. And other companies like, IPC companies, as I said, CBRE, JLL, they're also.
What would a BCG pay? What would be the pay pack of a BCG kind of a company?
See, BCG has come for 9.8, right? It's a fixed salary. There are some set of companies who will give CTC. There are some set of companies who will be very, very transparent in terms of what the fixed is, and they don't count the variable part into it. So if I'm going to talk BCG's, salary package, which goes around more than 15, 16, but when it comes, they only talk about the fixed salary. That has been 9.8. And they have taken 5 from Gurgaon, and right now the process at other campuses is going on. And for Gurgaon also, now the HR process is pending and it's going on. So I mean, today 30-35% out of the entire 4,500 students is a very, very huge number. And second, as what is reiterated by
one moment, I just want to clear to the student. One moment, ma'am. Students, one of the things you must understand, what Dr. Anupama was saying is very important, and I wanted to step in here. A lot of institutions now, they claim total CTC as the median salary or the salary that's offered, which is wrong, because some of the salaries depend on what you get as variable also, or other perks that come in. When a company offers you 9.8 fixed, it means that you're going to get that in hand come what may, plus the perks, plus the reimbursements and all. Some of the companies add all these things and talk of 15 lakh, 20 lakh CTC, which is not really true, because by the time all the cuts happen and what you get in your hand is very, very minimal. So it's very important for you to understand this difference between what is a CTC that is likely to happen to what is a fixed amount of money that you like to, which you will get come what may. And what Dr. Anupama is essentially talking about is that 9.8 is definitely you're going to get, plus all the reimbursements, plus possibly your canteen allowance and all those things, which a lot of people add, by the way, into the CTC, plus the incentives that you may get or may not get, and so on and so forth. which largely happens in some of the institutions when they claim their CTC. So it's very important for you to understand that this is a learning for you. Please understand when you are asked, when someone is talking to you of what is the CTC or what is the placement package, just be clear about differentiating all these things because it might not get added completely.
Mr. Perry, I would like to add one more thing. I'm sure you've been working with us from last several years. IBS as a B school is a very, very transparent institute. Whatever is there, we put it down to the students saying that this is what it is and this is what it is not. Now, when I'm talking about this, I mean, when we talk about the every CTC across IBS, our last student who get placed from the campus is part of that every CTC. Today, when I say top 10% or whatever the number, for example, as what Mr. Jatin sometime before talked about, that our average goes from 7.5 to around 10 lakhs, 11 lakhs or something. But for example, I have 500 students in Gurgaon. Every student who is placed from the campus is part of that every CTC. The other B school, generally the process is they don't show the tail. But here, everybody, that's why, you look at our averages differently as compared to other. Second, we are very transparent in terms of when it comes to CTC, that what is the CTC, what is the fixed part of it. Every information is being sent to the students so that they take an informed decision. That what is that my take home salary is, what is that I'm going to get in the form of incentives, what is that I'm going to get in the form of this, and we negotiate with the companies like that. So what I mean to say is that ICFAI as a B school is a very, very transparent institute. Third, you will be very happy to know that this year, even though for class of 2026, we have just started placements, we have done close to around 30 international placements, and which are at locations which is today acceptable to the parents and even to the aspirants, like the locations like Vietnam, this UAE, we do with Abu Dhabi, and then, this Dubai and other places and all that. And there are sometimes international placements which are driven for other markets. If the students are not interested, they don't come forward, we don't push them. So even at this point in time, when there is placement going on and it is just started, already 30 international placements are in our hand. And from that, we have around 10 international placements which has happened from IBS Gurgaon across around 30. And there are some companies which are right now in process, and the process for that is going on.
Dr. Shweta Jain, can you just talk about IBS Jaipur for a moment, please? So that, because we're talking of not just IBS Hyderabad, but all the other 9 campuses. So because you represent one of the universities that is out there, which is offering an MBA program, can you just talk about that, please?
Thank you, sir. And namaskar to all my colleagues and all the aspirants. So when I look at this entire thought of IBS Jaipur, the first thing that would come to the minds of the aspirants would be, what would be my peer group? What would be the learning group or the cohort I'm going to be with? So here I'm very happy to share that we have students coming from 23 different states. So that dimension of diversity, inclusion, which is the strength of IBS, and it starts from our admission process. As Venugopal sir said, equal admission opportunity. So we make it open for every genuine aspirant who comes with the right kind of attitude, aptitude, and aspiration. So for a place like Jaipur, having students coming from 23 different states with a huge cohort of South Indian students, a huge cohort of Bengali speaking students, a big number of Marathi speaking students. I'm talking in terms of the native places. But when they come together at this place, this is where the actual readiness for the corporate happens, because you're rubbing shoulders with peers coming from all parts of the country. Now, there's diversity in terms of the regions you come from, diversity in terms of the socio-economic backgrounds, diversity in terms of the academic profile, the scores and the streams that you come from, diversity in terms of gender, diversity in terms of the learning abilities. So when we bring them together, that is the kind of environment they would take them to the same kind of environment in the industry, because today we are operating in global markets. We have a lot of diversity around us. So this campus has been able to come up as a truly cosmopolitan campus. That is one part of it. Then if you look at the location, it is on the foothills of Aravali, so very serene, beautiful, lush green campus that gives that ideal environment for learning, the right kind of peer group. And as Venugopal sir said, that we have a very strong faculty cohort drawn from industry and academia alike. So Jaipur over the years has come up on the map as one of the campuses which is a preferred destination for students from all parts of the country, knowing that it has the right kind of learning environment, right kind of academic support, and a lot of exposure in terms of industry interface, and also the co-scholastic learning opportunities. Because when we talk about B schools, essentially management programs by design are not such that they're meant to create people specialized in a particular set of technical or functional skills. These are holistic learning environments. You're creating decision makers, you're creating people who are operating businesses. So it requires a lot of ability in terms of your intelligence quotient, your market intelligence, your emotional quotient, your decision making abilities, your digital quotient, creativity quotient, adversity quotient. So management program is designed in a way to create that kind of a holistic approach. And we've ensured that we capitalize on this diversity, we capitalize on our very contemporary and futuristic curricula and our processes to create that kind of students. So that's what we have drawn across 9 campuses, and the same is applicable at Jaipur as well.
Dr. Venugopal, this is for you. Can you just tell me, based on what is officially submitted to the Government of India? So I don't want data that's coming from any of your marketing brochures. I would rather want the data to be coming from what you actually submit to the Government of India on an affidavit. What's your kind of median salary, the average salary, the highest salary? Can you just give me some data points and how many students are placed in terms of percentage of the total intake to the total students who are placed? Can you give me some rough data that so that students get a comfort that this is data that has been verified by the Government of India and it is essentially more authentic data in that sense?
And sir, this is for the current batch that is going on or the 20 batch that passed out?
Both, you can decide about that, sir. I just want authentic data. That's very important.
Okay, so let me begin first by looking at the current data because we began our placements on September 1. And I will name the top 5 companies in terms of the numbers that they've taken. Deloitte has been number 1, followed by Oracle, KPMG, Bank of America, and RSM US LLP. These are the top 5 companies in terms of the numbers that they took. I mean, in terms of the numbers they hire. And we have a cohort of 1,250 students at IBS Hyderabad, which means and finance is something that students prefer. The first set of companies that come usually happen to be hiring finance students. Then I would also quickly run through which are the top finance companies that came and in terms of the numbers that they hired. For finance students, Wells Fargo, Infinity Global, Rippling came twice and hired 10 students each. Coming to marketing, the highest has been till now Havels India, Federal Bank, Univariety, and Rippling. They also took for marketing. Coming to operations, we had the highest salary of 16.32 paid by Micron Technologies. Then Novartis came, and then Oracle took large numbers this time. I think close to 25 students at an average of 13.82 lakhs. Oracle also hired for HR. Cognizant hired in HR. ICFAI hired for HR. And in IT, where we have about 70 students, EY, GDS Consulting, Capgemini, and KPMG, they hired in large numbers till now. So we're touching, I think 50% placement in the next 2-3 days at Hyderabad. In terms of the numbers, let me share with you. Last year, for the batch that passed out in 2025, we were able to place, I think, 86.42% of students in a market which was really bad, and at a mean salary of, I think, 9.448, and I'm not very sure of the median, but it should be slightly around that number. 9.8 could be the median there. And the highest was 24 lakhs last year. And highest international was, I think, 46 lakhs last year. This is what we share with the government and all the accrediting agencies. We are very transparent, like Anupama said a while ago. We do not worry about sharing these numbers with our target audience. Yes.
I think that's important that you brought up that data, sir, because students, you must understand one thing, that to take all the ranked colleges in this country, the typical placement, average placement that are about 70 to 75%. And what ICFAI is doing is about 86-87%. That's what is the comparative number. To take the top 10, it might be 95% and then going down the ladder. But overall, if you take the top 100, we're dealing with about 70% kind of placement. And what ICFAI is dealing with is about 86% placement. So it puts it in the 25 to 50 rank bracket in terms of the placement percentages. In terms of the median salary, we're dealing with about, again, the 25 to 50 kind of an age bracket, because below that you're dealing with about 7 lakhs, and above that you're dealing with 15 lakhs and above.
Can I also add, sir, if you don't mind?
Yes,
The top 10% definitely would be touching 13 lakhs. The top 25% will be above 12.5 lakhs. And the top 50% will be above 11 lakhs. So we are talking of averages and medians now, which may not be a true picture.
Yeah.
And when aspirants look at these numbers, I would sincerely suggest that they look at these as enablers. We are enablers of these academic processes. I think sky is the limit for you.
And one more point here, sir, the scale at which we operate, that also has to be kept in mind with the averages.
If you can talk about that, please.
I think the number of students in one single campus, what Dr. Venugopal was quoting, and what Dr. Shweta Jain and Dr. Anupama were quoting, 500 plus in Gurgaon, 500 plus in Jaipur, 1,250 plus in Hyderabad, the three campuses which are currently, the kind of averages which we are showing are maybe 2 to 3 institutions combined. Good institutions combined would add up to a IBS Gurgaon intake, or maybe 6 to 8 institutions combined would add up to a IBS Hyderabad intake. This is how what students should understand, that averages are, and at the same time what Dr. Anupama said, that we show the last student place in the CTC. That means we consider everybody into that group while we are mentioning the CTC. It can be with the variables, because obviously it is a part of their earning, especially in the marketing field. If you are going, everybody knows that the variables are a part of your earning. That CTC comes into consideration if you are going into marketing. Obviously, there are institutions like BCG and which are giving fixed salaries, which we have already discussed. But here, the scale at which we operate, not only these three campuses, the campus in Mumbai is having almost equivalent number of students like IBS Hyderabad. We are having almost 500 plus students in Bangalore. We are having almost 300 plus students in Pune, almost 200 plus in center like Kolkata and Ahmedabad and Dehradun, around 120 students. So all these campuses are bigger campuses. In totality, 4,500 with the average package of almost touching 7.5 lakh. I'm talking about all 4,500 students. Is something what we have achieved through our very strong industry network. And over the last 30 years, again being youngest in those top B schools, our hard work while the students are also representing us in those industry. 75,000 students.
So
I'm
I
glad
would wish to add to that, over and beyond the CTC or the package that we've been talking about, every aspirant would come with certain career expectations. You have it for yourself. So when we look at a placement point of view, it's career. So I look at a growth plan. I look at a career trajectory. I look at a profile. I look at a particular kind of role. I look at location. So there are several factors that would serve consequential when it comes to how a student looks at placement. So we at IBS campuses ensure that we give so much of handholding and support and individual attention in understanding the aspirations and the preferences of a student. So it doesn't only restrict around the commercials. It also goes around how do they envisage a long-term career. So what kind of role do they want to step into to see that I build upon that and then I have a rewarding career journey. So there is a lot to do in terms of the profiles, the organizations, the brands, the locations, the growth plan, over and above the CTC. That is how I look at it, because as Venugopal sir said, that students come back to us with a lot of satisfaction and they have so many things to share, how institution has contributed to their careers. So that is a sum total of a lot of factors along with the commercials, how they look at their careers to be a more gratifying experience.
So just to add to what has been told by Jatin and Shweta ma'am, just trying to summarize a few things. See, a lot of things students, you need to be realistic about what your expectations are, what your aspirations are, and which institute will meet those realistic expectations and aspirations. IBS, for me, I've been following it for some time now, is very grounded in its approach, very realistic in its creating this expectations that are sold to you or marketed to you, and typically it meets that criteria. For example, if you take the actual data that is with the government of India as far as IBS Hyderabad is concerned, the last submitted data is about 9.85 lakh median salary, right? And about close to 88% students placed. This clear, authentic, credible data that is with the government of India. I'm no longer talking of the data that's with IBS Hyderabad or what they pushed to me. I'm talking of the data that's been submitted to the government of India. And that is what you need to consume. Now, this thing that Jatin was talking about this, or Venu sir was talking about in terms of the placement percentages, what happens is a lot of students, at times the institutions push them to opt for higher studies or push them out of the registered for placement kind of a process, right? What they talk of is students who registered for placement versus the number of students placed. The gap is between the number of students who were admitted to the number of students who registered for placement. They're pushed out of the system, and to that extent, the median salary goes up, the average salary goes up, and the placement percentages go up. Which ICFAI, when I look at the data at this point in time, they admitted 1,320 students and they, placed 1,145, 1,150 kind of students, is exact data as you see. The registered for placement is out of this picture. So we're talking about the intake that happened versus the students who were placed, and then we calculate the median salary and the average salary and all those kind of things, which is much more correct as compared to what some of the institutions claim, because you actually only submit a part of the programs and not all programs, for example, and that becomes a challenge in itself. So please remember that whenever you're looking at placement data, look at the 100% placement is a myth unless you're studying at IIM Ahmedabad, right? It's a myth because there is nothing called 100% placement. What they do is they take the total students admitted and then force some students to be opting out of placement process, and then they start calculating, which is where I think it's important for all of us, all of you students, to also to understand from people like me that we follow data and we know exactly what is happening on the other side. So to that extent, I think it's important for you to understand this piece of it.
Mr. Perry, can I just add 2-3 things?
Yeah, please, ma'am, please.
Yeah. See, first of all, when we talk about out of placement, at IBS, there are very, very identified categories for which you can be out of placement. One is if you're not able to clear your course or you have academic affliction, and third, who are very, very keen to become entrepreneurs. And there's a lot of support which goes from the campus side also, if they want to, start something of their own. And that number has been very, very less. I would say last year, out of 4,500, there has been 18 students only who wanted to get into an entrepreneur kind of a thing. Second is, when it comes to placements, one of the biggest USP with IBS is that we have a very strong presence in 17 to 18, sectors, which has become one of the reasons for us to become successful, even when there was pandemic or there were tough times when, other B schools could not place and all that. And we worked on this large, presence in terms of multiple sectors. Now, for example, last year, if the banking is not doing well, we focus on other sectors, right? Similarly, this year, there are some sectors which are not doing well, but since we are active in multiple sectors, that gives an advantage to focus on other sectors which probably do have an appetite to, consume students. Now, if I name some of the sectors, and I know today this is very important for students because when they join, they come with their prefixed mind that I want to start my, career with consulting, or I want to start with FMCG and all. And through you, I want to tell these aspirants that when you join us, there are multiple sectors which interest you. You can choose those companies from the campus and you can get placed, in the sector of your choice. But the only thing is that if you're so keen to get into a particular sector, then your hard work, your dedication, your all those things has to be diverted towards that. And if I name some of the sectors, today we have banking, consulting, education, e-commerce, financial service, FMCG, retail, even GCC, which is now just 2-3-year-old concept. And today there are large number of companies which are GCC based and which has come and started hiring from us. Similarly, we have telecom companies, we have real estate, we have IT enabled companies being put separately, media research company, even hospitality, I would say even pharma. So, when a student is joining, they can have a sector of their choice and get into that and finally can get placed into that. And the biggest third USP is that we see how we are able to place 95-96% students year on year is, Mr. Perry, let me be very frank, we work a lot with these students. starting from the practicing sessions with the professor of practice, these are two separate concepts. Now, I will slightly like to elaborate on this. Today, when it comes to third semester electives, every elective today, 1/3 of the course is being taught by industry practitioners. So even though we've been very active in case study teaching, so case study helps us in balancing theory and practice, these professors of practice who is teaching 1/3 of the course, right, is another way of balancing what's practically happening outside and what is basically theory related to that. So these, some of the activities do help us prepare students well, and at the same time, that's how we are able to get into 95-96% placement. Third is, we prepare students for every company which comes to campus. Now, giving an example, I talked about BCG. For example, if BCG is coming tomorrow and hiring, there will be a 2 days capsule program which would be run around that BCG, that what is the company all about, what is the kind of preparations you need to make, so that the student, when they face the recruiter, they are well versed with the profile, they're well versed with the company, they're well versed with everything, whatever probably, could be asked or maybe could be, intervened in that particular company. So there's a lot of preparation which goes behind it, and that's how the students are being able to get placed within that 95-96% bracket.
Thanks so much, ma'am. Jatin, this question is to you. See, the student also is looking for a great campus life, right? The young people, and they want to have a good campus with good peer group, with good environment around it and all. So can you, for the benefit of the student, pick up IBS Hyderabad, for example, and tell me what kind of campus are we talking about? What kind of hostels, what kind of life can a student expect when they want to join IBS Hyderabad?
It is a happening life. Life with almost 2,500 management students, and university having more than 8,500 to 9,000 students during the daytime. And hostels are compulsory for all the management students there. If you are an MBA student at IBS Hyderabad, it is compulsory to stay inside the campus. So all the 2,500 students are inside. The kind of representation of states, what Shweta ma'am said for Jaipur, Hyderabad is equally good and even better. All the states of the country and all the union territories are available in Hyderabad. In fact, for all our campuses, not only these 3 campuses which are visible here. And the kind of club culture which is prevailing across 9 campuses, sir, is excellent. And the students are really looking forward to join one or the other clubs, maybe multiple clubs at most of the times. And that is also shaping their extracurricular efforts. The kind of inputs and the kind of learning they get outside the classroom sometimes is even more than what they get inside the classroom through these club activities and the culture which is there. All the festivals of the country are being celebrated in mostly all our campuses. So that is giving the students that kind of a feeling that they are into a mini India in most of our campuses. And this is also making them learn to work wherever they are finally getting placed. It is not a specific regional campus or a regional kind of environment. Food is pretty good. We are having mess committees where the students are the heads of those mess committee on a monthly basis. They decide the menu, and obviously it is being run by professionals in the system. And I think sports activity across wherever we have got bigger campuses, like in Hyderabad, a 92-acre lush green campus. In Jaipur, it is a campus of a university. In Gurgaon, we have taken the additional land towards just adjacent to our campus for giving the sports facility. Almost an acre of land is available for the sports facility. That also is a part of the learning, that sports fests and other things. And obviously the fests which are happening in the campuses.
So just to put things in context, students, ICFAI has about 87% students coming from outside the state of Telangana. These are data that's again from the government of India. My job here is to ensure that the data is correct and moderated. So I'm just keeping you informed about it, which essentially means that the students from the non-local students are 87%, which is a very, very good number. Typically, it happens to a good B school and above. For a normal B school, you actually have more local population coming in. But in this particular case, 87% students are from the outside the state of Telangana, which is a very good number. and about 50% are girls and 50% are boys. To be exact, 49.4% are boys. The girls are 50.6%. So to that extent, the gender diversity is very good. So we're talking demographic diversity being 87% outside and 13% inside, and the gender diversity being 50.6% being girls and 49.4% being boys, which essentially means that you actually have very, very good gender diversity. Is that what I'm saying, Venu sir? Is that correct data?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're right. Absolutely.
Also, Venu sir, can you also, because Jatin earlier talked of the clubs that you have and all, can you talk of the kind of clubs that actually aid and help the students grow further and evolve further in their lives?
Oh, yes, sir. I mean, we have two categories of clubs. One that takes care of their curricular activities that have to do with their domain areas of specialization. And then the extracurricular, which has to do with sports, then uncovering their talent. And 27 clubs make up the IBS Hyderabad ecosystem now. 27 students on an average, every junior and senior, if you add up, almost all the students get covered in these 27 clubs. Budgets are not a constraint for students because this is what the institute believes, that once we invest in students taking care of their own activities, I think they become leaders in their own right. Every club has an organization, has a president, a vice president, a secretary, a general secretary, and an organizing team. And they vie for the best managed club in both the categories. So we have seen there is a club uniquely meant for photography, uniquely meant for music, uniquely meant for dance. And then we have also seen clubs which are into economics, into finance, into marketing, into operations. So what happens is students, when they align with these clubs and the activities of these clubs, which generally happen after 6 in the evening, is they broaden their horizons of working in teams, working with diverse individuals, and working under constrained resources, and working under a constrained environment where everybody is vying for the best slot, but the success comes to those who actually plan and execute that. So we have observed over a period of time that the clubs have had a very positive impact on students, and in fact, some of them even admit that the learning that happens there goes beyond the classroom, and and some of the skills that they gain, the social skills that they gain, are much more important in their life as they go down and navigate their life challenges.
Jatin, can you tell me the kind of admission process? You actually have the IBSAT score and then the weightages and all. Can you just tell me about that, please?
So as I answered in the first question, IBSAT is a qualifying examination. It is scheduled on 27th and 28th of December this year, last weekend.
Last date of application, Jatin? Can you just
Last date of application for it is 19th of December, which is around a couple of weeks from now. And once that is concluded, on 24th of December, we'll be doing a practice paper for all the IBSAT takers, wherein they will get, on a shorter duration, around 20-25 minutes, get to know the platform where they will be giving the exam, how to enter, how to react on the platform, so that they can be rest assured that they are only going for the IBSAT test on that day and they are familiar with the platform. So I would recommend 24th is the date for those students. Once the IBSAT test is over, the result will be declared on the New Year Eve. Generally, we give it on the New Year Eve or maybe a day before. And that is a gift for the students. Once that is done and the students are knowing that they have been qualified, we ask them to confirm their selection process dates, which are randomly given to them. And it is between 14th of February to 22nd of February 2026 this year. The interview process is scheduled in Hyderabad. That is known as a selection process. And in between the result and the selection process, we invite all the parents and the selected students in a meeting which is known as selection briefings in around 65 cities of the country. Mostly all the major cities are covered in those. We invite the selected students with their parents to clear all their doubts. In case they want to have any clarity on the kind of institution we are, the kind of placements, what will happen in Hyderabad, we, along with our director and one alumni, are available there. It is a 2-hour session twice in a day, and we do it on a booking basis, means they have to book their slot. They can attend it anywhere in the country in those 65 cities. Once they are coming to Hyderabad, it is a process which starts with registration. 50% of the weightage on that day is on the past academic record, which is 10 marks for your 10th, 15 marks for your 12th, and 25 marks for your graduation. Those who are in the final year of graduation, we take the scores till second year and give them the scores. Remaining 50 marks are based on equally micro presentation and personal interview. What is a micro presentation? It is kind of a extempore which will be on the spot talking on a topic. And those topics we have initiated last year, this micro presentation. There will be a soft board where digits from 1 to 100 will be there. You have to just touch one digit, a topic will pop up. If you are okay with that topic, we'll give you a minute to recollect your thought and 3 minutes to talk on the spot. We will judge you on your skills of talking, your thought processes, and your articulation and all those things. In case you are not okay with those that particular topic, you can choose a second topic, and that is giving you a second chance. Between these two, you can choose any one and finally give your micro presentation. All the students who reach Hyderabad for the selection process are going to attend the micro presentation and the personal interview. Once that is done, in the month of March, we declare the results for our IBSAT process. And then we give them around 3 weeks for submitting their admission fee. And till May, we give them time to take the refund. So that way, we are the first to start as a campaign in July, the last to end by 19th of December. Because generally, if you see, most of the institutions hurry, they close their dates before CAT.
Yeah.
But we as an institution, we are a little, we give that window to the students. They have completed their CAT, they have given their SNAP, they have already given, most of them have given their NMAT. Now they have, they are knowing their standing right now. Now they can opt for IBSAT.
Can you elaborate a bit more on the refund policy, Jatin?
So refund policy is once the students are selected after the selection process, we ask them to pay 80,000 as the admission fee, and that 80,000 is to guarantee a seat of that particular campus. There is also upgradation which happens. Supposing the seats are falling vacant in the upper graded campuses, which are higher in cutoffs, we upgrade the students from the lower campuses. Till the time the students are into the first week of May, last year we gave the 1st of May as the last date, and the students are writing to us that we want to withdraw. We have got a seat somewhere else. We are only deducting as per UGC 1,000 rupees, and 79,000 rupees is refunded to all the students.
No, that's very important. Students, this is one of the things that I would always want you to look at. Whenever a institution is very confident of itself, now they will have a very liberal refund policy. In the sense that they only keep with them 1,000 rupees just for cost, but they refund all the money that you paid, right? When you in such a case, you are less at a risk of applying to a college, taking admission into a college, and deciding as you go along, depending on if you have a better college, you actually can take the refund from the other colleges. So always go and prefer those colleges which have a more liberal refund policy, because one, they are secure institutions, and two, more importantly, you're not going to lose anything by securing a seat for yourself. If you have a better college, please go ahead. You're not losing anything because at least you got one admission in your hand. So I would always encourage all of you to hedge your bets in such a way that you have one good big school in your hand while you keep pursuing your dream of getting into an IIM or whatever it is. No one is going to stop you from there, but have something in your hand, and that can be a great option for you moving forward, because a lot of people, they don't take admission and then later they suffer and they fall down to a very bad institution. That is not something that I would always tell you to do. So just keep yourself into that space, right?
Yeah, absolutely right, sir. And this also gets a point to be discussed, which is a student should gather offer letters by March rather than eliminating the institutions before writing the examination.
Exactly.
So that is what is very important for the students to understand. Gather the offer letters, eliminate the choices once you have all the offers in hand. Rather than saying that I have to travel to Hyderabad for a selection process, I'll not go to Hyderabad. I have to travel to Mumbai for an RC Munji process, I'll not go for an RC Munji process. Because of my CAT has gone well, I might get a seat in one of the IIMs. Might is a word where it is not certain. That is what I want to say.
And one of the things that I would ask Venu sir, it is for you is, see, a lot of students go by ranking, right? And very few know about accreditation, the international accreditation especially, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. Students, just to put things in perspective, there are three big international accreditations that we have. One is called AMBA, which is a very good accreditation. Then you have ECFAS, and the third one is AACSP, right? Now, I would always encourage you to look at any institution which has any of the three accreditations to be a very secure place, which is transparent, which opens itself for scrutiny, international scrutiny, mind you, not Indian scrutiny, but international scrutiny, where you're able to understand what the institution stands for, the mission, the goal, the objective, the data that is there. All those things are more clearly available when you actually go through any of the international accreditations. And the international accreditations are ECFAS, AMBA, and AACSB. Now, I know for a fact that IBS Hyderabad is AACSB accredited. So, can you, for the benefit of the students, explain to them what the accreditation means, what it binds you to, what it compels you to do, and so on and so forth?
Yes, yes. So the ACSB accreditation is a global accreditation given by the Association for Advancement to Collegiate Schools of Business. It's an institution based out of Tampa, Florida, and it has more than 100 years of legacy, having accredited institutions both in business and accounting areas. So IBS Hyderabad got the initial accreditation in the year 2020. And in 2025 May, we were again reaccredited for a period of 6 years. Now, what does it mean to be accredited by AACSB? One, we belong to an elite band of schools in the country. When we got the accreditation in 2020, we were the 14th in the country to have got it. Today, even after 5 years, it's only 24 schools have got this accreditation.
28.
It's 28 now, and it's not something that is easy to attain because of the very tough scrutiny that schools have to go through in terms of the strict standards. Today there are 9 standards that schools have to follow, right from the mission, vision, the strategic plan, and to me the most important standard happens to be on student learning and student outcomes. And for students who are looking at schools that are AACSB accredited, one of the most important advantages happens to be in terms of employers now. Today, your employers are global clients now. They are based all over the globe. And when they look at the AACSB stamp on the school and from the school where you have graduated, definitely it has an edge in terms of acceptability. And because they know that out of a global network of so many thousands of colleges, the numbers are not very large. Even at a global level, it's around 1,000 odd numbers which are accredited, and we are in that league. Is something that is very important to students. In terms of the learning outcomes, the structured assurance of learning process enables and ensures that every student who passes out has something called as learning outcome that comes out on very structured rubric metrics. And to us, these are conceptual knowledge, critical thinking, whether it's leadership, communication, and digital awareness. So the AACSB continuously seeks reports from us on student intake, on faculty quality, on research that we do, on how we are addressing issues of sustainability, and in terms of our reach and our response to stakeholders. Everybody is important in the AACSB scheme of things. And finally, in terms of global mobility, tomorrow a student may want to go abroad and pursue education abroad. And we are tying up with several universities in Hyderabad to inform all of you. And we are only tying with an AACSB institution abroad, because it's always easy to talk to an AACSB institution rather than talk to somebody who is not an AACSB. So it enables us to ensure that they also follow the same process in terms of academic rigor, faculty quality, input quality, outcome orientation, and in terms of whether you are driven by your mission or not. So all these happen and bring us on the same platform and ensure that students get the highest quality of inputs, because our curriculum is defined by the assurance of learning. And we have some of the finest faculty across disciplines, because even the qualifications of faculty are determined at the global level. So I would sincerely advise students to look at these accreditations. Hyderabad, we are also applying for we already applied and are moving very quickly with the BGA of the AMBA and the EQUIS of EFMD.
So, just students, just to put things in context here, there are only 3 institutions in this country which have all the 3 accreditations. And there are about 28 institutions all across the country. You have about 5,000 plus B schools in this country. There are 28 B schools which have an AACSB accreditation. AACSB is a global accreditation, and to that extent, it's a lot more transparent and a lot more rigorous in terms of the process for you to get accredited through AACSB. So, whenever you actually have a AACSB accreditation, give it a lot more weightage than the kind of ranking that has, because ranking can, moves every year, whereas the accreditation moves once in 5 years after an inspection happens of the institution, and a lot more things happen. It's a lot more rigor is established in that. So I think at this point in time, I would pause and I would request any one of you to add anything that I might not have asked, but you think that the student should know about it. Jatin, over to you.
Treat IBSAT as one of the examination which should be in your kitty rather than as a backup. That is what is a strong message. You have spent around 6 months preparing for CAT. CAT day is over. Don't worry about the difficulty level which came. You might be in slot 1. You might have experienced a little easier certain section. You might be in slot 3 or a little difficult. But that is over. If that is over, move on to the next stage. Next stage is, have you got your NMAT exam in hand? Have you got SNAP exam in hand? Slot 2, slot 3. Have you got any other exam which you have filled? If not, then there is a IBSAT exam, obviously having some dates available. This is the exam must to be filled for 30,000 applicants for top 5,000 seats in the top 20,000 seats available in the country. Test is only qualifying exam. It is not eliminating you to attend for the process. Like some of the tests in the country are eliminating you if you are not performing well in those tests. If your day doesn't go good and you are clearing the cutoff of IBSAT, you will certainly be called for selection process at Hyderabad. Once you are called there, it is your past 15 years of academic record which is giving you 50% weightage. And remaining 50% is in your hand. You can start preparing now. We as an institution also prepare all our aspirants towards the micro presentation and PI mocks. Even there are various platforms across the country who are preparing you for that. I would strongly suggest don't miss out on those preparations which are available. Go and attend all the interviews of the exam which you clear. Don't eliminate at this stage. Eliminate in the month of March. And once you are having 6 to 7 offer letters in hand, then start talking to people, especially the alumni. Take the feedback of experts. Don't believe on only marketing or the institution face. Go and talk to as many people as you can meet. But always remember, the thing which is not in your hand is gone. The thing which is in your hand should be considered.
I think that's very well put, Jatin, because I'll tell the students, there are 5 private exams that you must always work for. Of course, CAT is, of course, one of them. But besides that, you talk of SNAP, NMAT, XAT, IBSAT. These 4 are something that I would always, because everything is in your hand. And remember, most of these exams follow the pattern that you already studied for for CAT. So to that extent, there is no extra preparation that's needed. Just that you, with the same knowledge that you acquired while preparing for CAT examination, you go to appear for some of these examinations. And besides that, you actually have MAT and CMAT also, right? Now, because you prepared for one examination, it is easier for you to apply and get in there. Don't get into making the choice at the application stage or at the when you get an admission offer. You actually start getting into all these things when you actually have 5-6 offers in your hand and not at the application stage. At this point in time, you must go ahead, apply, go for the examination, get a score in your hand, and wait for the results to come out to understand where you stand in the scheme of things. Because I've seen a lot many students who go for think that they will get into a certain institutions, have a bad day, and then they don't know what to do, and then they fall down to the worst option that is possible. So don't get into that zone. Apply for an examination, appear for the examination, and then once you get the scores is when you actually start making decisions based on the admission letters that you get in your hand. That is very well put, Jatin. Thank you so much. Anything from you, sir, Venu sir, which you think I missed out, which you want to inform the student?
My advice to young students is, see, we are looking at a very new paradigm that is emerging, and an MBA program or a PGPM that promises you the knowledge and skill combination is something that is very critical. At all our campuses, we are ensuring that we are not only skilling you for the future, we're also ensuring you that you're equipped with the best kind of skills, because tomorrow's manager is going to be the T-shaped professional. The T, basically the width of the T, the tree of, I'm talking of the horizontal tree of the T represents your general skills, your diversified approaches, your personality, and your ability to adapt to different situations. While the leg of the T looks at your deep knowledge about one domain area. So tomorrow, all these days we used to say you are master of, you are what you call jack of all trades but master of none. But today the paradigm has shifted. We are saying you are master of many, right? And when you have to be master of many, you need to broad base your understanding. And today, all over IBS campuses, I'm very, very confident in terms of the skills, whether it is spreadsheets, whether it's visualization, whether it's machine learning, whether it's AI. We are going to bring in that differentiation in every student who joins our campuses and makes them employable in not only traditional sectors, but also the emerging sectors or the emerging companies such as the global capability centers, which are coming up in big numbers. As Dr. Anupama and Dr. Shweta pointed out a while ago, we are geared for the future. And if at all there is a place where your education will be redefined and refined, I think it is IBS and IBS campuses alone. Please look forward to it and do take the IBSAT exam. Yes, sir.
Dr. Anupama?
Yeah, see, I would like to say 4-5 advantages which these students have once they all join, they go to join ICFAI. First of all, very strong alumni base of 75,000, which is a very, very big number. And if I talk about, Hyderabad and any of the other campuses, we have today people reached to managing director. I don't shy away by saying that BlackRock MD is our pass out, Bank of America, CEO is our pass out, and many other companies where vertical heads and all those have grown in last 10 years, and today they're heading these verticals, departments, organizations, and it is all because of the kind of exposure we have given them to the campus. Second is very few B schools, the syllabus is contemporary in nature. That today, whenever we find anything in the market which is going to create, jobs in the market, we immediately make that as a part of syllabus. So our syllabus is moving, and every year, Mr. Perry, you'll be very happy to know that we have a course correction committee who sit together, who revise the syllabus, who review the syllabus and see that what are the kind of new things which are going to come in the market, and they immediately make that as part of the syllabus. And like, for example, this year we have added marketing matrix 1 and marketing matrix 2, because we know that guesstimations and all those things have become very, very important. And shortly class of 2026 is going to see that as part of a syllabus. Third is, our summer internship program, which is for 3 months. Like generally you find that 7 to 8 weeks is the internship period, but here it has been 3 months from last 20-25 years. And the students do have a huge learning in terms of how organizations do work. First 2 weeks are being spent upon how organizations do work, what are the kind of product line they have. And finally, the learning in other weeks is tremendous. And many students who end up by getting pre-placement offers also, even though the acceptance rate of that is very, very minimal. But that's another USP which we have. And today, when you started, Mr. Perry, you said that we do have large number of students whom we do take, but that's an advantage for us because there are a large number of companies, when they come and hire from us, they don't hire single digit, they hire big numbers. Like, I talked about BlackRock sometime before. Across IBS, they must have taken more than 100. If I talk about Deloitte, across IBS, more than 200. So where do you find these companies who take 3-digit number? from one particular set of B schools. So today this huge numbers has become an advantage for us because we satisfy large talent requirement of these organizations by offering them large numbers. And the last one is our not only syllabus is contemporary, our case studies are contemporary. Sometime before Professor Venugopal talked about, the kind of achievements we had under case studies. You'll be very happy to know that worldwide, IBS has the highest repository of cases after Harvard. So we stand after Harvard in terms of European case clearing repository of cases. And all these cases are being brought to the classrooms, which are contemporary in nature. And one student is being given exposure of more than 260 cases in 2 years. That means 260 situations are part of the class where it could be how probably a particular company has, what is GCC doing in India, how Infosys today became one of the big company, or how, Narayan Murthy started its company. So that's the kind of wide exposure which these students have. So some of the advantages which I thought I'll talk about. And the last advantage is whether you join Hyderabad, you join Bangalore, Gurgaon, Jaipur, any of the campuses, the syllabus, the methodology, the curriculum, everything across is same, right? Some 6-7 advantages, I thought I'll just talk about. And on a top of that, 95-96% placements based on the kind of industry choice you have.
Perfect. Thanks so much. Dr. Shweta, anything from you?
Maybe in terms of the scales and volume, we have campuses across locations in the country, students coming from across the country, internships and placements happening across the sectors and industries and domains, and then alumni across the globe. So that is the kind of scale and volume that we operate at.
Okay. So students, this is where I stand as far as IBS Hyderabad is concerned. You're dealing with an institution which has about 5,000 plus intake. So it's a very safe bet for you to get in or at least apply and then keep that offer in your hand and then decide as you keep getting, because when you have 5-6 offers in your hand, you can decide which one is better for you. IBS Hyderabad itself is dealing with about 9.85 lakh median salary. So we're dealing with a 10 lakh salary for Hyderabad, and then the other campuses which are going down to 7.5 lakh, but going up to 20 lakhs also. IBS Hyderabad, I know quite a few top 10% do get about 15 lakh plus kind of an offer. So we're dealing with that. A gender diversity which is very good, about 50-50 being girls and boys. A geographical diversity where students from all over the country come and converge in a particular B school. And this typically happens when the B school is good enough. Otherwise, you would only have local students coming and populating a particular institution. Here, even Jaipur, when Dr. Shweta talked of 23 states being coming to Jaipur, it's a very, very good thing that you should be talking about, because I think that kind of diversity would come only when you're much sought after institution. So that is another thing. And the kind of companies that come for placement and that scale they recruit, what Dr. Anupama talked of, where is Deloitte and BlackRock and all recruit in hundreds, which is a very, very big thing. And that typically happens when you actually can offer students at scale for these companies to come in and recruit. So you actually have a lot of positives going. My only request to all of you is that, you actually have an application deadline of December 19th, apply there, sit for the examination. And then when you actually get multiple offers, that is when you make the choice. Don't make the choice of elimination at an application or at an examination stage. You make the choice of elimination when you actually get offer letters in your hand. And from that perspective, this is a good option for you to have. And then it is for you to decide. If you get a very good B school, please go ahead with that. But don't start eliminating at this stage, because that is when you actually make a big mistake. I've seen a lot of students who struggle to get into a good B school because they did not get that primary option that they had, and then they start falling apart. So from that perspective, IBSAT is one of the 5 examinations that I said you must take. The others I've already mentioned that you actually talk of. You talk of CAT, of course you do that, but NMAT, GMAT, NMAT, SNAP, IBSAT, and XAT is something that you must have, along with maybe as you move along CMAT and MAT. And the way you go about doing it is to prepare for CAT examination, carry that knowledge forward, apply, and then get into the admission process. For you, the big thing here is that you actually have a larger intake, so you actually have a safe bet which you might be keeping in your hand moving forward. I hope you have understood what IBS and IBSAT stands for, and it is for you to ultimately decide about it. But my request or my suggestion is keep this as a great option in your hand. And thank you so much. Namaste. All of you, thanks so much, Jatin. Thank you, Dr. Venugopal.
Thank you, sir. One bonus statement which I wanted to close with is 13th of December, if students want to take the national mock test, it is having a first prize of 1 lakh rupee. So all the students can take a practice national mock test. visit our website, and then prepare for IBSAT. Apply before 19th.
Contest where you can win 1 lakh rupees. So just jump in there.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for your time, sir, and thank you for the session.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us here. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all. Thank you.